why I am going to college. I sat around for several weeks trying to find that one person who has inspired me the most. To be honest, it's been very hard. I look back to when I was a child and thought about doing someone from then, but no one really inspired me to do anything. I've always been the kind of person to do what I wanted to do, not what others thought I should do. So then I started looking through my teen years and into my young adult years, and still, no one came to mind. I was really starting to stress this whole commemorative speech thing. I thought I might never find someone to do the speech on. Then I realized who it was. I was at my office a couple weeks ago when I ran into a longtime friend who asked me how school was going. I told him it was a struggle, but I was trying to get it done. He told me to stick with it. He told me that when I finished, he wanted me to go to work for him. He's been saying that for a while now. It was at that moment that I realized he was my inspiration. He is the reason I'm going to college right now. My name is Bryan and this is how Ricky has inspired me. I met Ricky back in 2004. He was a fellow employee for the Georgia Department of Corrections. I had recently come to work for GDC in the engineering section. Ricky, however, had a very different job. Although he was employed by the GDC, he was assigned to the U.S. Marshals Task Force. Over the next few years, we became fairly good friends. Me coming from a police background and him chasing down fugitives gave us a lot to talk about. We would sit around and swap war stories. During the first few years of getting to know Ricky, I thought he had an awesome job. I wanted to do the same thing. Ricky came to work for the GDC in 1989 as a correctional officer. He worked in a prison down in South Georgia. In 1995, he was assigned to the Governor's Strike Force on drugs and violent crimes. It was here that he was recognized for his outstanding work and his go-get-em attitude. In 1996, he was promoted and reassigned to the Drug Enforcement Administration. He was still a GDC employee, but he was a sworn DEA agent. He worked many cases chasing down drug dealers all over the state. He was even tasked with doing it in custody. Then in 2003, he was assigned to the U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force, based out of Atlanta. He not only went after wanted fugitives, but he also supervised all of the task force members that worked for the GDC, but were assigned to the U.S. Marshals. Around 2006, I started sharing interest in going to work for him on the Marshals Task Force. He told me how these jobs were very sought after and that they rarely came open. He told me that he would keep me in mind though. So time passed by, we stayed friends, and I waited for him to get that position that I could fill. Then in 2010, Ricky was promoted to the Director of Office of Investigations and Compliance for the GDC. This now meant that all investigators, the task force investigators, now fell under him. He supervises all investigators for the GDC, including inmate affairs, internal affairs, criminal investigations, intelligence section, and all special investigators like the DEA and U.S. Marshals Task Force. After Ricky got this last promotion, he told me that he wanted me to come to work for him as an investigator. When the first position came open, I applied. Him being the boss, I thought I had the job in the bag. Then I was told I did not qualify for the job. See, even though I've still been working as a sheriff's deputy part-time for several years, I did not qualify. I did not have a college degree. I was heartbroken and angry. Ricky was let down. He told me that he could not understand why someone with the experience I had could not match up with someone who just had a degree. In 2011, we were having a discussion about what I could do to go to work for him. He made it clear, if I get the required college degree, I had a job. So that is where I am. Ricky has had a great career. He started off at the bottom. He was assigned to a special drug task force. Soon after, he was assigned to the DEA, and after that, he was supervising the Fugitive Task Force. Now he's the Director of Investigations. If anyone has inspired me the most, it's Ricky. He's the reason I'm in college now.